lot of people are asking that should we open up both the sites for the award ceremony. We are not opening up. So you are privileged to sit where you are. We are not going to open up because I think the parallel sessions are still running and they will end in 5 minutes. So you have actually privilege of just occupying this space, right? So just be there, enjoy the moments, and I want to get a quick feedback from everyone who has sort of supported, helped, and be here. How was the event, guys? Good, bad, ugly. अच्छा था, बुरा था, मजा आया? How was the Josh? And almost maybe 5 years in dreaming, right? We have been thinking about building this event for that long. 5 साल हमने vision लगाया, and then बीच में we obviously COVID happened, and we couldn't move an inch, right? So I think those were the challenges we had. And we were also worried in a month back when there was again a wave of COVID कि क्या करने वाले हैं. And we said we go ahead, we are not going to stop. And hopefully the vision of the event was that all of you should get a chance to do business together. A lot of subjects and areas are not well covered. When you look at the fintech domain, I think a lot of things are perceived incorrectly. Many of you must be reading newspapers. थोड़ा settle हो जाइए, थोड़ा settle हो जाइए. PR तो थोड़ा सा settle हो जाते हैं. Fast. Guys, fast. And guys, I know most of you guys, right? I can actually name people. Okay. So thank you. The idea was to ensure that the focus becomes very heavily on Bharat. I think India has been sorted to a great extent. Bharat is not sorted, and we realize that the gaps are huge. And when I say Bharat and India, I think I only mean that typically we focus on English-speaking people and primarily salaried class, and that's what we built for. And incidentally, along the journey, because of UPI, something got built for MSMEs as well, and what BharatPay did and what say Razorpay did on the payment gateway side, a lot of things got solved over a period of time for e-commerce guys. But anybody who's running a small stall or shop, or anybody who wants to go digital, it's not easy. It's damn complicated. And also, when we work on the rural ecosystem, we work with MSMEs. Sajid, आप बैठ जाओ सर. संजित आप मेरे को छोड़ के कैसे जा सकते हो? थोड़ी देर बैठ जाओ. इतना crude force. Okay, and thank you guys for joining. Maybe just settle down. I think what we were worried, and I'm being very honest, that all along our journey of last 4 months कि होगा कि नहीं होगा, and quantum कितना आएगा. How many of you believe that we should come back next year? Thank you guys. मैं उल्टा क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ रहा था. How many of you think we should not come back next year? ये बहुत ही perceived question है, right? कैसे मना कर सकते हो कि होस्ट के सामने कि नहीं होगा? But we will be back. We will be back with same dates next year. Hopefully the same location. I think we believe that the size should be this much. More is crowd. We will try to ensure that we keep it to 1,200. I think we had planned for less than 1,000, honestly. So some of you would have been inconvenienced in last couple of days where maybe the bit of crowding. Next year we will try to ensure that we are within the limits of 1,000. How we will do it, I don't know. But something which we really want to ensure that we don't have too much of crowd. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि अभी हमारा 1,000 का इवेंट हम 3,000 का कर देंगे. ऐसा कोई मेरा intention नहीं है. Idea is to ensure that we have curated crowd. How many of you met friends in this journey? How many of you believe business हुआ? कुछ business हो सकता है? वो तो अपने ही लोग हैं यार. That's correct. Okay. So I think a lot of times business happens when you meet like-minded people. And a lot of people, I think I met a Irma gang. How many of you guys from Irma? Okay, yeah, you are there. So you had a Irma gang which was like meeting after years and all from different batches and trying to build something. So there was a Irma sort of, क्या कहते हैं, थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही लोग हो गए. We had a panel where I think 60%, 3 of us out of 5 were actually from BHU. IDBHU? Anybody? Nobody, right? Yeah, so we had on panel, there was a bias. So I think with this thought process, we will come back. But to be frank and honest, I think it has been an anxious journey for us to build this up. If somebody wants to understand, anybody who does event management? I know you guys are. Okay, so I think if you need any, if you have not never done events, right? This is our first event of this size. We used to do B2B events where we would have only curated crowd of maybe 30 odd people, in which we will have maybe 25, 30 people sitting on the buyer side and seller side, and we do one-to-one. Pravan, you have done it, right? You have done fabulous stuff with that, I remember. So we do one-on-one largely. That was the intent earlier, because in event, primarily all the seniors are looking for business, right? So we do this event. This event will also come back very, very shortly, maybe next a month or two we'll come back on it. Right now, actually, we need few days of rest. Because of age, I'm like really tired, and I had to skip literally food today, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Uh, any feedback you want to give right now on the event? What should we reconfigure for when we come back next year? Is Mumbai location okay? Any other city we should go to? Bangalore. Sponsor karoge? So we intent is to do smaller events in Bangalore and Delhi. Between Hyderabad and Chennai, we don't know. I don't want to make a false promise, but Delhi and Bangalore, we want to do sort of mini event. This is too large for us, and we are not event organizers, so I can tell you how complicated it was. And thanks to all our customers for supporting it. So interestingly, all our customers, 100% of our customers are here. So our customers inside the room today? Not really, not in the room right now. But all of them came, so we had to tell them, sir, थोड़ा हम लोग ये event कर रहे हैं, सारी की सारी team कर रही है, तो आप भी आ जाओ and enjoy. I think everybody came across, so which has been very good for us. So I think they've been very, very supportive. Many of you may think of us saying ये करते क्या है? This is something which we have not tried to solve in the session. I'm sure many of you are still thinking ये है कौन entity, right? How many of you heard about the digital fifth for the first time? Did you hear about it earlier? Maybe next, before we started spamming you with your emails and all? उससे पहले किसी ने सुना था? So how many of you knew about the digital fifth before this? Okay. Now everybody knows hopefully, right? So I think I'll tell you the bit of a genesis about the event perception and all. So I think my view of the events is, or maybe I'll give you a view on the company itself. We built this company, and we have not spoken about our company at all. I thought I'll use this chance to talk a bit about us. We are passionately focused only on fintech and BFSI. So when for us, bank is a fintech, NBFC is a fintech. Everybody has to go into fintech, and also every enabler is a fintech because they have to be in the journey of digitization. With that intent, we built this company 6 years back. When we started building this company, we did not know हम build क्या कर रहे हैं. Honest answer. We did not know how to build a company. I had never built. I have been on the banking side and the technology side, but I have never built any company. I had no idea. And how many of you are 45 plus and want to build a business? Okay, one. Anybody else 45 plus and wants to build a business? Okay, talk to me. I'll tell you what not to do. Okay, what to do you will realize. What not to do is very difficult to tell. I mean, nobody tells, right? I'll tell you what not to do. I made enough of mistakes in building it up. But one thing we realized is that consulting in India is the toughest job. And it is tough job because actually it can't be sold. Can you sell consulting to anyone? If I come to you, I say consulting le lo. Sajid, consulting loge? Nahi lenge. Okay? Nobody takes consulting. They buy. They always buy. They actually go out. They will never, you can't go back to anybody else and saying, okay, musse le lo. So it's actually, we realized initially in the first days, so when the company started in 2017, when demonetization happened in November, and we had a Pradhan Mantri talking about demonetization. So I actually realized that a time for a consulting firm is now. And do you think India में कोई Indian consulting firm है? Is there any Indian consulting firm? Okay, so in India there is no consulting firm of any size. Very few, maybe 3, 4, 5. I think we know that Praxis is doing some stuff, which is good stuff, and few more, 1 or 2 here. But it is not focused on a segment, right? So I realized that I was thinking all along that India में कोई consulting firm बनी ही नहीं है जो problem को solve कर सके. And there is also a thought process that you typically hire from a large institute. or big institute and put a foreign brand India में बिक जाता है. Okay, and I'm being very conscious about it. It's not that I'm talking that you buy from me. I'm absolutely not talking about it. I'm actually talking from a perspective that there's so much of focus, that slavery in our mind that Indian brands से आप नहीं ले सकते हो consulting. How many of you think that Indian consulting firm से काम नहीं करना चाहिए? तो कर लो फिर. Okay, so not too many guys work with India because we know that nobody questions people if they buy from the big seven. Okay, it's reality, right? And I'm not saying they're right, wrong because they do good job as well. It's not they do bad job, right? I'm absolutely saying that they don't do a bad job. I myself have worked with some of them and they do a fab job. Absolutely not against it. But again, look at Indian ecosystem. It's different. It's different. It's growing at the fastest pace. We are a developed fintech nation. And how can we learn from a country which is not developed, right? Other countries are not as developed. So I think we need a local. So that was the thought process I had that we need to build an Indian firm. It took us time. So while we did not get a work, I am telling you honestly that on day one, I was jobless. I didn't have work. So a very small difference between a person who is jobless and a consultant. Okay? Very little difference. Both are same. Okay? Both have to sit idle. I have been in a space where I had to sit in office because my family should not ideally realize that I actually have no job. So I actually used to go to office. I took an office on day one without revenue. And there were days I actually slept in office. Because how can I go back? And even on Saturday, I would go to office and sleep. Because I didn't have work, I would write blogs. So how many of you read our blogs? Some of you have seen our blogs. So how I wrote those blogs is because काम नहीं हो तो क्या करेगा? खाली बैठे तो कितना दिन कर सकता है? So I actually used to write a lot of blogs, but those blogs gave lot of impetus because my thought process was becoming clearer and clearer. And of course, used to sit in Rise. Rise Mumbai was a great place to work in. I think Rise Mumbai ke guys have done fabulous. So if you look at Singh, is a product of the same place. You have Safe Cold, again from the same place. We have Karza and all and Flex Money and so many more. We were actually peers sitting across the same table. And that's how we all grew, and that environment was great, right? So we did nothing on those period, but is chakkar mein kya hua? I started doing classes. How many of you are from our classes, master classes? Yeah, few of you started our master classes. So that helped us because we realized there's value to it, and we started conducting classes. Classes made us survive for a bit because revenue to chahiye na. Kab tak khali baithega aadmi. So classes started working in, and we did a bazaar. So we had a Danish embassy which came and contacted us, and Danish embassy came to India and they said, we want to work with you, and can we get foreign entities to meet in their startups to meet Indian banks. And they thought that Indian banks se milne ke liye they have to go to each office. I said, it's okay, let's try to get people together. And that is the first version of Bharat Fintech Summit. We actually organized in Rise Mumbai some, I think, B2B meetings between banks and fintechs from Denmark. And we had, I think, 8 or 10 Danish clients, Danish fintechs. And we had, I think, 10 banks supporting us. So all the big guys you saw today were actually as supported on day one as well. So they all came across, and we realized there's value to it. So we started doing the sessions as well, the bazaar. So this is the first version. 6 years back we started. It has been on. Along the journey, because there was very little revenue coming in, we started figuring out what more, because, and then I met my co-founder, Shrikant. We are from class 7 together, class 7 together. And we started building up a small thought process together. And he started supporting me on all weekends and also. He's the sales guy. I do not know how to do sales. We're still figuring out what to do. And then and along the journey, we started putting brains together, saying, kar kya sakte hain? So we started figuring out. You would be surprised that and then of course, along the journey as we scaled the business, Shashank came along. And you would have seen Shashank across these days. Shashank and we go along for a very long time. We work together, and he's the one who knows more than me. So typically, when you don't know so many things, you have to get somebody who's better than you. So he was much better than me on consulting side and details. तो जब भी कोई कॉम्प्लिकेटेड आइटम आता है तो वही करता है. So he heads consulting. And Shashank, this event could not have been possible without Shrikant, because all the hustling of getting the partners on board was done by all along by me. It's him. So I think super stuff. And I think along the journey, we were actually just four people till 2017, 18, 19. 19, we were just four people, and COVID happened. And before that, we had done decent stuff. We had our Feb revenue was the highest for us. Highest for us is not very large, okay, 25 lakh, okay, which was very high for us. We were started doing well, and COVID happened, and the next month revenue was 3 lakh rupees, because all things happened, which is first thing to go is typically consulting. So we went off, but came back very heavily within 2 months. So we were back to the revenue numbers, and you would have seen a lot of our trainings happening digitally, and they recovered. And along the journey, what happened was we started getting banks. A lot of unicorns work with us. So today, I think we would have been working with 5 unicorns, at least maybe 7, 8 soonicorns. We work with a fair number of banks in multiple segments. So anybody who wants to do a digital strategy, digital journeys, partnership in fintech, building on the inclusion side, if anybody wants to do a BC strategy, business correspondent strategy, all of that we have done. We've done partnership, we've done investment in the market. We have somebody who's got funding as well, right? Multiple team. Yes, we have people who have got funded as well. We're working with IFL for their funding, and we got them through. So I think we have done in different example. Today we are working with a foreign multilateral entity, and they're investing hundreds of million, and that's also coming via us. So along the journey, we have scaled up as well. A lot of people right now, I mean, a lot of people who came on the panel, not all, बहुत बड़े आते हैं, but some of them are definitely our customers, and hopefully over a period of time they will become our customer. But it doesn't matter. My other perspective is, even if they don't consume or consulting service, we work across on partnerships. So a lot of people use us or service for building partnerships in the market. This event is actually part of partnerships. Idea was that everybody should get a chance to communicate, to talk to other people. So our customers are there, but a lot of you who would have joined would have also built business, and that's what the intent was. Partnership is not about me getting benefit, I getting benefit, my company getting benefit. Everybody should get benefit out of it. This event was primarily put through in such a way that everybody who comes has a meaningful way to communicate here, right? So all of the guys you would have seen today would have, I think, good 90% of the crowd is relevant. I would say 90% ज़्यादा बोलोगे तो एक आधा बोल दोगे ये और बंदा क्यों था, but I think largely we have curated, and so partnership is big for us. In terms of learning, I think we do B2B master classes. So B2B we train a lot of banks right now. I think some of the banks who take our trainings are also here. So largest of the banks, a lot of MNC banks work with us, and we train their resources on transformation. We work with the boards, we work with we had an interesting situation where entire group brought entire CEOs together in the room to get trained. So I think that has been doing well, and we also run executive program on fintech. How many of you been in executive program? None here? Yeah, few of you. Yeah, one here. 1 or 2, 3. Yeah, 3 of you have been part of the executive program as well. It runs for 3 or 4 months. And that is where we go very deep. And we also realize that we are not very smart. We absolutely know we are not the best guys in every space. So when we do trainings, we always try to work with the leaders in the market. So some of those guys who came on the panels actually are your trainers. So I would say biggest of the name in the country, the unicorn founders actually come in our sessions to take sessions. Rajiv ji has been there. Rajiv Ahuja has been there. He has been, every time we have a session, he comes across and is so humble and supports us. So the idea is that when you do trainings in colleges, you have theory coming in. Idea of this session, idea of this masterclass is, don't look at theory. Figure out how it is built and we don't believe in case studies. We don't believe in case studies. I think the guys who have built the business come across and talk about it to yourself. So it's direct one-on-one. And it helps us, it helps and also one of the best part is part of this training, we also get trained. So it is done on all Sundays. And of course, recently we have launched the recruitment service as well. So we hire for a lot of banks right now in the digital space. We operate only in digital, so to the extent the journeys are different. Uh, we don't hire for all roles. We hire only for fintech primarily or digital primarily. But again, networks, bureaus, international firms, all of them use us to our services for that. So across these four areas, consulting, partnership, training, and hiring, we've been working. We are very strong in building digital banks. So if you somebody who is looking at digital bank end to end, or you want to build digital journey, I think we can obviously work for. Now coming to the to this event itself, I think we perceived that we will get, as I said, that we expected 700 to 800 people till few days back, and I don't know from where the crowd increased dramatically. I think. Thank you for joining us. This is super because we did not expect this turnaround. Many of you guys come back and saying, "कैसे plan किया? मुझे नहीं पता." How did you expect this much of crowd? Typically events में इतना ज़्यादा नहीं होता, right? So I did not expect. So we were thinking that we would have taken such a large place and we will have a different problem to solve. कि कोई आया ही नहीं है और हम खाली खड़े हुए हैं. So this is the other situation we had. So how many speakers were there as per you?
Just
Thank you. Thank you. I think the content was the king. Normally, I'll repeat, normally in events you do for sponsors. I think I'm really thankful to sponsors to come late. So actually we spent almost 2.5 months, or maybe more than that, building the content for it. We wrote every item, every agenda was written, rewritten. We had fights enough to say ये इसको drop करते हैं, इसमें मजा नहीं आ रहा, इसमें इसमें कोई कोई खास value नहीं है. Every item was fought, refought. We said India में और भारत में we should look at three themes. One is theme is inclusion. Sitting in cities, we don't realize the inclusion issues. So we have been working on the villages side as well. I think Stellups is our customer and we realize how complicated that work is and people don't understand that segment. So we work on collaboration, inclusion a lot. I think good out of those 35 odd panels we had, I guess one third were purely focused on inclusion. And I hope you would have got some sense of business out of that. The second segment we focused on was collaboration. I think the collaboration is a critical angle for any activity. And it was a long time, it was all X versus Y. It is no longer X versus Y. X plus Y can do something else. So I think we focus a lot on those. So those panels you would have seen on maybe open banking, neo banking, and a lot of other initiatives were around that. The third angle which we took was innovation. I think being from old a world where we were actually slaves of foreign empire for a very long time. I think we 75 साल हो गए but हमें आज़ादी नहीं मिली, right? I think that is the thought process where we've just not thinking of our innovation is unique, right? We are still trying to figure out कि बाहर की country में ज़्यादा अच्छा वो काम होता है. I think technically yes in some areas, but if you look at India is a developed country on the fintech side. Developed means developed, okay? We are so far ahead that maybe in payments area our use cases are getting replicated. India stack is getting replicated. On the lending side, the use case we have built is phenomenally better than anybody else, right? So I think that's something which I want all of us to take away. One point is that innovation is great, but yeah, I think we also have to realize that innovation कहीं खत्म हो गया. We are still trying to ensure that किसी और ने मॉडल बनाया तो उसको कॉपी कर लेते हैं. अभी आपको जो काम करना पड़ेगा, my thought process is that new business whatever will be built will be very difficult to build. उसमें दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा. You really can't solve a trade finance problem by being excited about it. I think it's complicated. Focus on the area, focus on that region, focus on that segment, and just build for it. So it will be time-consuming activity, and you will see more gray hair people coming out because you need. And I'm not saying young guys will not do it, but I think we need a deadly combination of young guys and old guys. Young guys will bring energy and focus and force, whereas older guys will bring the maybe the both regulatory compliance and the underlying knowledge, right? आपको पता ही नहीं है तो होगा कैसे? Trade finance problem, is it solved? Is it solved? Trade finance problems? Remittance problems? Not solved, right? So do not do, and these areas need immense focus. Maybe you need to spend a year or two in these segments, work with, maybe get a co-founder from a trade finance side, co-founder from maybe treasury side is again unresolved. So look at the areas where, I mean, white spaces are huge. We believe that collection is a white space. Focus on those areas and build for it. Maybe B2B payments still not resolved. Maybe we need a new network. Lending में बहुत gaps है तो बहुत ज़्यादा issues हैं. आपके लिए बनाने के लिए शायद हो सकता है 3-4 साल लग जाए. And B2B business is great. So my request is don't always focus on B2C. B2C is great, but you need immense amount of funding for it. You would do a better job potentially to look at from a pure B2B perspective, and there's a lot of value to which can get created. Go and pitch to a bank, go and pitch to a NBFC, and I'm sure you will find enough areas of focus and improvement. I think that's my take on it. I want to take a few inputs from you to improve the content for the next year. Or maybe before doing that, maybe I want to spend few minutes getting feedback. पहले positive दे दो, बाद में negative देना, okay? So let's spend few minutes to get your feedback on what worked for us. पहले आप पहले से बताने चलोगे कि यार वो धूप लग रही थी तो मैं I only can apologize, थोड़ा सा मुझे भी excite होने दो. Anything which worked for you guys? And I am very happy I saw faces in the morning, same faces in the evening as well. So how many of you have spent the whole day here? Wow. How many of you have spent all 2 days here? Wow. So this is brilliant. I think you guys have been very, very supportive in doing. So any quick feedback from people here on the session? After just this session, we will start our award ceremony. And we have 15 companies winning the awards. There have also been tie-ups. The tie-breakers, we did not break the ties because who are we? We have had eminent jury to check that out. मुझे खुद नहीं मालूम है result क्या था. Okay, so a lot of people saying बताओ बताओ बताओ. To be very frank and honest, we did not know the results. We went for a jury which is from outside. The guys who had no involvement in the activity, they are not going to have any view कि इसको आगे बढ़ाते हैं पीछे बढ़ाते हैं. We wanted to ensure, and we've gone with that data and we have not got involved into evaluation. So we gave a metrics and they did it. So I think I'm being very honest. Lot of thoughts will go saying यार इसको इन लोगों ने कुछ पीछे से दे दिया होगा. Actually, I realized the award is only just few minutes back saying that because वो क्या कहते हैं उसमें तो चिपकना चाहिए ना. So it got done actually few minutes back only because the details came across and we did it. So I think we will do that. Just quick feedback. Are the other panels over? But both the panels are over, guys. This one is remaining. Done. Okay. So I think we will start the ceremony in a few minutes, but I want a quick feedback from you. What was the feedback? How did it work for you? पहले positive, बाद में negative, फिर बाद में positive कर देना ताकि मेरा BP वापस ऊपर आ जाए.
Yeah. So I'll go. Of course, fantastic content. I think that we can make it out that it was well curated. Other thing, I think to a large extent, time management was good. So for each session, ruthlessly, I will say, wherever needed, because otherwise you can't do that way. And many times in this thing, fintech is big, so you can just go all over. So that way it was also good. It was like punctuality is one of the thing. And third is, of course, great set of speakers and the panel. So I can make it out that a lot of work has gone behind before any panel discussion has happened, maybe with the talking with the speakers or whoever it is. So that shows because the person who was coming in the audience, whether he got the value or no, yes, got the value. So that is what I'll go.
Thank you. Thank you. I think once we start the award ceremony, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So, first of all, sir, thank you so much for organizing all of this. I think this was, first time done at the mega event kind of, right? So
thank you for calling it mega. We
yeah.
didn't think like that. Yeah, thank you.
No, absolutely, right? And I think, getting all these guys together. So to give you a background, I am neither from a fintech, I'm neither from NBFC. I kind of work very closely with these guys. So whether you ask me, networking done, absolutely done. Knowledge gained, absolutely gained. Business, ho jayega, right? Okay. And I think, so I think that's all very positive. I wouldn't say anything negative. I would just say that, because, I have this habit of capturing information so that you can actually go back and reread this. So if someone is sitting over there, for him to capture this information was difficult. So we can actually have some televisions in between for the middle audience, right? To just capture, a few photographs or some content. I think that's the only thing, and that's more from an infra perspective. I think from a knowledge-based perspective, there is so much for us to kind of go back and reread it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And in the meantime, can you communicate outside the awards ceremony is about to start, right? So will be useful. Yeah. Any more feedback, guys? So I think the entire videos will be made available on our YouTube channel. The Digital Fifth is the YouTube channel, so all of that will be made available. I'm sure many of our partners who have helped us will also make use of that, and they'll be available there. But for sure, a lot of content will be available. All the videos will be available on our YouTube channel for anybody. And as usual, our all online content is always free. There's no paywall for, it's not behind any paywall and all. So everything will be available. We're also coming back with our report. It's actually Bharat setting benchmark for the world. That report is going to come out in maybe 3 weeks' time. We will ensure that some of the learnings from the session itself goes live there. And it's again, as usual, free of cost. We will not charge. It's always available to download. The only problem which we have is that our website may not be at times bit cluttered. You will not be able to find easily, but every content is there, and we'll also work a lot to ensure that our website becomes better and better. But yeah, everything is available free of cost online. We will do webinars also online, so you can actually pick up something as well. Somebody was asking deck milega kya? I think most of our decks will be available in some of the training sessions we would have done live. So webinars mein mil jayega aapko, but everything is available. But will it be available tomorrow? Nahi, kal aaram karenge. Okay, we will come back with bit more energy, and we'll do that. Any other feedback on? मैं अगेन बोल रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, पॉजिटिव वाला देना, नेगेटिव वाला मत देना अभी. मैंने कहा ना नहीं कहा. Okay. Any other feedback, guys? Any other feedback on what worked for you guys?
Yeah, hello. Hi. So the one of the best thing that I liked was that you had multiple themes, plus within those themes there were different industries that were being talked about. Like we being coming from a lending industry, we don't know much about what's happening in the data science. We don't know what's happening in agribusiness. So learning about multiple things, even though out of 100 things, we'll retain only 5. But those 5 will help us make new paths and new ideas. So I really love that about this.
Thank you. Thank you. Some more. Maybe ask the same question again. अगली बार करेंगे सब आएंगे? How many of you will not come next time? How many of you will come next time? Thank you, guys. Thank you. नहीं कुछ ने नहीं उठाया, कोई पोर्स नहीं है. We'll try to get negotiation done again with you and try to improve our quality if we have missed out. Yeah. I think from a next step perspective, we will come back with this event also in few more locations. Delhi and definitely Bangalore are on the cards, but it will not be of that size and scale. We are not event organizers, so it's tough for us to execute, but we will come back with a better version of it in the same dates, most probably 7th and 8th of February next year. As I said, that size of the event will remain similar by nature. We don't intend to make it very large because then the activity gets hampered and you get lost. So we mostly will retain the location mostly. And in Mumbai, maybe here or maybe in Taj, one of these places we will do. We'll keep the size same, more close to 1,000. Maybe this time you may have faced a bit of overcrowding, and we will try to ensure that we keep the number to more close to 1,000. Yeah, and I think from a activity perspective, my thanks to all the supporters. Perfios came along for supporting us. Perfios guys, thank you guys. Are you there? Not here, right? So Perfios guys really helped us out and being a presenting sponsors for us. And my sincere thanks to each of these sponsors who came across. I think many of you would not be realizing that content where the partners were weaved, they were all weaved. So it's not that we were trying to say that boss ye pitch karenge. It was aligned to the agenda. Agenda and structures were done upfront. So there's very little space we left for that. We wanted to ensure that the structure is built for you. And I'm so happy to see all of them. I think Airtel Payments Bank came along. Thank you guys. Airtel Bank, Payment Bank guys, you're there? None of the guys are here, right? So thank you guys. You came along, Bharat Pay, Signet, Encash, and these are all supporters for us for a long time. So just imagine getting partners on board when the product was not even known. They did not even know that we could do it. So I think my sincere thanks to all of them. Hyperface, I hope you got a chance to pick up a report. Or you can actually download that. We will share the report as well. It's freely available. So this report is there. We launched it. We also had a report from Infosys. So banking as a service report is available. We'll ensure that we communicate and you can pick it up. As usual, all our reports are free of cost and will be delivered. So you can pick it up on our website. I think Iris guys came back. They did some of the Fab session as well. I think they did a session on GST, right? I think this was very well attended. I got a lot of positive feedback for that. I serve you. I think thank you guys for joining us. We had Kindrill guys, again, such a large entity supporting us at this stage. And we met them only a few days back. So thank you guys. Kindrill guys, are you there? Anybody else? Okay. So we had Money Control coming as a media partner. So I believe that a lot of articles are already live right now on the event. And they came back again for a media company to support at this stage for the first event. Thank you guys for supporting us. We had Pennant guys. I think they're one of the best on the lending stack side. And I met Raju maybe once, I think a few weeks back, and he just said, yes, that's it. No questions asked. So thank you, Pennant guys, for supporting us. Razor Pay, Arif, we were just chatting, he's saying, we are sponsoring you, no other discussion, no other push, no other follow-ups. So Fab stuff. Satshore guys, I think they were talking to you for a long time, and thank you guys, Satshore guys. Thank you, Sciency guys. I think Sciency, I personally believe that. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Sciency guys came along and I met them a few days back, and all we had to do is karenge kya? And Ankit Arpit, मैं हमेशा confuse जाता हूँ कौन से वाले? Arpit. So I met Arpit in Bangalore. He says करते हैं साथ में, and all we had to do is just one short call, and we are done. One short call. I think it was maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So thank you guys for all the belief we had with us. I think Matthew. We met Matthew only a few days back. It's not Matthew and me are not old friends. We just met and our wavelength matched. So Matthew, you're there? So and we work along with on few accounts right now as well. So I think the kind of work they are doing in a small firm, but the legal side, they're very, very strong. And I got their feedback from others as well that they're very strong. So if you're looking for a legal firm, I don't recommend easily, but they are good, damn good. In terms of Think 360, I think they're a good partner. They work on a lot on inclusion side, and they have been there on AML side for a long time, on analytics side. So I think good guys to work with. Amit, thank you, Amit. Anybody from Think Analytics? Koi nahi milta. Okay. We had Twit guys. Twit is a rewards as a service platform. Very unique, ahead of its time maybe. And the kind of work they are doing on the ground has been very well. Some amazing surprise. So India mein aise models bante nahi hai, but good work. Rewards is always a challenge. How many of you suffer with rewards issues? Card se reward lagana आसान नहीं है, right? निकालना आसान नहीं है. It's very, very difficult. So they have built it out. So I think Amit Kaushal I met few months back, and he just came on board saying साथ में काम करेंगे. No other discussion. All the tough ones were with him. Okay, I will not talk about the tough ones. So I think he did all of that. We had Vienna guys again. 1 or 2 calls and that's about it. So I think Vienna guys, thank you guys for supporting us. Vienna guys? Chodo. Okay, so VFin guys, I think from a discussion perspective, VFin leadership has been, Raja, we have been talking for a long time, and Raja was the first one to come on board. Yes, Raja was the first one. VFin guys came on board almost a month or 2 back. And just imagine the product was built like this, whatever you see, and they came back just on that saying that looks okay, we will come on board. Zebra guys, I think they are building a very unique platform, both on accounting side and also some bit of work on fintech side. So unique formula, unique structure. And if I'm not wrong, Nimesh, right? Nimesh came along. Is Nimesh around? सारे स्पॉन्सर कहाँ चले गए? They're winding up, right? So they will come. So we should ideally wait for them, right? So, and Zegram, guys, I honestly was bad. So one of the problem I realized that this event has taught me is that so much of innovation is happening, and I don't know about them. So Zygram, guys, was something which is a finding for me. I did not know them, but I like the work they're doing, and my thanks to them as well for supporting us. And of course, Camps FinServe, which is actually building an account aggregator framework in India, they came along. Evolute, which actually does a lot of pieces on physical devices side as well. I think thank you guys. Easy payout. Again, payouts is a big problem for us. We run our firm and payouts is always an issue. I think they're solving for it. Thank you guys for joining us. Knight Fintech, which is a co-lending plus setup. I did not know them again. It is just that last few months, people have been talking about Knight Fintech. So I think young team, but they're doing good stuff. I'm now hearing them more often. Scale up, I think Bajaj FinServe Direct. So Bajaj is bringing their whole knowledge on not just the platform, but then whole lending knowledge on the table and offering to everyone. I think Scale Up is that entity, and they're supporting us. And Trackwiz, I think for long, Trackwiz is one of the best entity which works with a lot of banks in the market on multiple use cases. And I think in DCP days, I do remember meeting him, but I think he's a close friend of Shashank, and they're doing good stuff. So thank you guys. So all our sponsors supported at this stage. Some of you may think awkward about it, why I'm talking about it. They make this event happen, right? Because they supported us without asking कि यार मेरा content कहाँ डालेगा? ऐसा किसी ने नहीं पूछा. They were always saying जहाँ डाल सकते हो डाल दो. We have to be relevant. We don't want to over impress you with मुझे कहाँ दिखना है. They are actually continuously supporting us. So I think overall it came out for us very, very positive. My request is if somebody can ask some of those sponsors to come along and we could do that, it'll be good. I think so sponsors were great and supportive. I'm also thankful to the team here from event organizer side. Thank you guys for supporting us. I think Iqbal, are you around? Or maybe they're all trying to recover. Yeah, so Iqbal and his team did a fab job. Thank you guys, Iqbal. Iqbal and his team. Vijay, thank you guys. Super stuff. This whole designing happened overnight. So आपको लग रहा होगा कि सब organized है, ये सब रात में काम हुआ है. All the way till maybe 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock every night. And they did it, or maybe a full night they were there actually setting it up. You will be surprised that this space yesterday night, previous night was actually a marriage hall, in which he actually ensured that the stage was built upfront. So we had stage as well as marriage running in the same hall at same point of time. So there are 3 stages and 1 hall, 1 marriage ceremony happening with the vertical here. So we did that. One error we made and we could not solve for it, which I am really sorry for, is that we did not have a cover. My sincere apologies to all the sponsors all the stall owners that we couldn't do it. My apologies to all of you, because you would have also felt that it was a bit hot. We'll not make this mistake. We couldn't put the cover down because of the time constraint in the night. We got the place very late, and there was no time for us to recover. And I'm really sorry for it. I'm sure you would have felt the stalls were a bit hot, so sorry for that. I think any feedback on the future, right? So anything which we should do next year. I spoke about the positives, but I wanted to quickly take a feedback on what we should do next. Nobody? Okay, and my thanks to also the hotel for helping us out along this journey. I think they were there and sort of supported us. But most critical, I think I want to thank my team for doing it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I can tell you that all of them worked through the nights. I also want to tell you that I was not involved in the activity at all once the event started. So we were actually jostling, fighting it out every day, every night. Maybe while the awards ceremony is getting organized, typically at the end we do it. But I would like to request all of you if you could join on the stage and come across, guys.